Good evening, folks. This is Jim, Mr. X. He's off camera. Coming to you from a very cold city in our SCF studios here. We're gonna give you a little treat tonight. We're gonna start the trilogy of the Flair Steamboat. Legendary trilogy, probably the most famous one in modern times. Maybe, maybe in the back times we're talking like, other guys. But tonight we're gonna start with the Chi-Town Rumble '89. That was the first match of the trilogy. All right, so Fight for WWE Network. It's going to be under WCW pay-per-views. It's going to be WCW Chi-Town Rumble '89, and we're going to start it at 1 hour, 58 minutes, 28 seconds. 1:58:28. Welcome back. We're going to go in 3, 2, 1. Boom. Now, this is coming from Chicago, which was not traditionally a WCW hotbed, so they were taking some chances here. But with the quality of these two guys and their matches they've had, this is the start of that trilogy. And here comes the champ now.
There's Ric Flair. He's coming out first. It's a little different here, and you can see he's with Hiro Matsuda there. And by this point, it's kind of strange because Dusty had gone down the road to work with Vince McMahon, and Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard also had gone and went to work with Vince McMahon, as well as James J. Dillon as well, I believe, at this point. This might have been a little before, but he did work. He did end up there. This is probably at the time he was there. So as far as I can remember, the only horsemen left at the time were Flair and Wyndham. I say.
Wyndham was almost gone here at the point too, though.
It was a very interesting deal because Dusty had left, and it's funny because he had that thing on the studio with Eddie Gilbert, with the mystery partner, Mr. X, who ended up being Ricky Steamboat.
But it wasn't you, though.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna make sure.
I'm younger than Steamboat. But it was interesting because Dusty had left, and so what had happened was the Turner company had taken over the company, and you talk about Jim Hurt or whatever you want, but the actual funny part was that George Scott was there, and he was a big help to the company as far as like bringing in guys. So funny where Steamboat had left the Mid-Atlantic area, which is the same basic area, years earlier. He wasn't happy with the way he was being poised on the card, and Dusty was in control. And when Dusty leaves and George Scott comes back, Steamboat comes back. That can't be too big of a coincidence there.
Oh no.
And you also had guys like guys from the late '70s that had worked for George Scott and had made money for the promotion for the Crockett's. Steamboat, the Iron Sheik, also was back here too. 10 years after he had worked basically for George Scott, and so this is kind of interesting,
Oh yeah, and we're starting out hot and heavy here. Steamboat's going for a quick pin already. Now this is not. I know we've talked in the off camera in the past about. This is not the first time that these two had a feud, is it?
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like, we were talking like 10 plus years before this, Steamboat and Flair were working for the Crockett's in the quote unquote Mid-Atlantic area, which is the same, DNA of the company that was bought by Turner, Turner Company. So these guys had matches for the U.S. title where Flair actually rubbed Steamboat's face into the concrete floor, messed him up, over the U.S. title. And like I said, that's a good 10, 11 years before this, and they had great matches, you know, in all the towns. And this is like 10, 11 years later, so it's pretty interesting.
Hey, there's Brad Mustard, the Bears. He really wasn't a halfback.
More a fullback, right?
More of a fullback, yeah.
Oh, these aren't the football guys, they're wrestling guys, right?
Well, I mean, technically a halfback was kind of a combination. That's kind of why they showing him.
Well, you got to remember at this point, you basically had Neil Anderson there, so Brad Mustard was not going to be the halfback of the Bears.
Because Peyton was already gone, right?
Peyton's final year of playing was 1987.
Ah. I know we've talked
But Neil Anderson had come in like basically that year, so it was all good.
I know we've talked in the past. You think he's your number one running back of all time?
I think of players definitely that I've seen, Walter Payton is my favorite. I think he was the best of all time. I mean, there's a couple guys I could throw in there, but he'd be my number one.
There you see Ricky Steamboat with the backdrop, and as we discussed in other videos, due to that plane crash in 1975 or 76 with Flair, he's got to take that bump to the side, or else it's not going to be good. Oh.
It just also as an aside, I don't know if you remember, but didn't WCW have some type of sponsorship? Was it with Kangaroos, the Roos shoe company?
I believe that they did that for very short time.
But you know who I believe also was involved with that? I think Payton. I think Walter Payton. Since you're gonna bring up Payton, I think they both were involved.
I did not know that. Wow. So how?
Again, I'm sure the internet will correct me, but I believe
please do.
I believe that was the case. I believe so. And a really early on type of of course Converse had the weapon with Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. They wore those shoes. That was very early on in the shoe market game for sports. Anyway, endorsements. But anyway.
So they were before Jordan then.
Yeah, sure. We're talking the Converse weapon was, I want to say like maybe 83 maybe around that time frame. 84 maybe.
I remember the name.
Converse the weapon, yeah. And they were color coded for the Celtic colors, green and white, and the Laker with the purple and gold. So anyway, but definitely Steamboat here, built from Honolulu, Hawaii, incorrectly I might add.
And he was also billed as the son of Sam Steamboat,
who was from Hawaii. Sammy Mokuahi.
And you have a lot more knowledge about that area than I do. So, and Sam Steamboat was one of the top guys over there, wasn't he?
He was very popular. He in his younger days he was very fit and a tremendous athlete. In the later years he got a little bigger, but I guess that's just par for the course, I suppose, with a lot of these guys.
Well, that does happen. When you get a little up there, your training slows down a little bit. So
the road's got to be rough on these guys, though, I imagine.
I mean, you're going. This is before before the planes, before the interstate systems. These guys are going up freaking just country roads and dirt roads and like 2-lane roads, not interstates. Like throwing 3, 4, 5 guys in a car to save money. And
it's miraculous more people didn't die on the road, frankly.
Yes,
making those long trips.
And they had done some other habits while they were driving and stuff.
A lot of drinking, at least a lot of beers.
I was trying to be nice about it, but yeah, there was a lot of.
And yet it's funny because Ric Flair of all the people would be the one that would have something in common with not in common with Buddy Holly per se, but it was the same thing where everybody wanted to fly in that day, and then Buddy Holly lost his life. But Flair, I'm sure everybody wanted to be on that little jet, right? That that trip to Lumberton or whatever it was that they're flying in.
Yes.
If you weren't on that jet, I mean it wasn't a jet, but if you weren't on that plane, you would have been all right. You wouldn't have got hurt or killed.
Yes.
As a pilot was.
They had left Wilmington, I believe, and kind of the sad part is only the pilot passed away.
But the careers of two people were destroyed.
Johnny Valentine broke his back,
and Flair almost too, but he miraculously came back to me.
Yes, but Johnny Valentine was end of his career.
Yes,
he broke his back, and
yep.
And David Crockett was on that plane trip too.
Yes,
and
then this other guy, good athlete, kid from Minnesota, Bob
Bruggers.
Bob Bruggers, that's what it was. Yeah,
that's it. But sadly, only the pilot died.
Well, unfortunately, only the pilot died, right? I guess in a sense, right? I mean,
well, yes and no.
It could have been fatal for everybody, frankly.
Yes. Oh, and you see, these guys are so evenly matched. They've wrestled each other so many times. Like they know what each other's going to do, and it's going to be a back and forth battle here.
Well, it's a much different match if you watch it back. I mean, I'm sure we'll do it. We haven't done it yet, but the WrestleMania 3 Intercontinental title match with Steamboat and Savage.
We will get to that one. That was considered by many to be the greatest match in WWF/E history. Hard to argue with that one because that was pretty up there.
The funny part about it is though I've seen interviews where Ricky Steamboat will say that he said it without saying it, but basically he implied that he much would rather wrestle Flair than Randy Savage.
Well, I understand where you're coming from, and it's like Brad Mustard's he's watching with intent here.
It's just a good old wrestling match. This is something where it's a throwback. I mean, these guys know each other. Like you said, they've wrestled so many times. I know they had that series in the late '70s. They obviously were, friends in the area for a certain time. But I believe that he and Steamboat had some series of matches like in the earlier '80s also.
Oh yes they did. I believe this is Steamboat's first attempt at securing the title, or did he have other title matches that he failed? I think this might be one of his first high-profile title matches for himself.
For the world title, I don't think so. I think he might have had a couple of shots at Flair in the early '80s, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe the first time he won it from Dusty, or maybe a little bit after he won it from Harley Race, although maybe not. That I'm not sure.
Well, maybe at the time he wasn't ready, but he's certainly gotten a lot more experience since then, and he's really looking to get this title. And you see the third man in the ring there,
Tommy Young.
Tommy Young, considered by both of us, myself and Mr. X, as the greatest referee in wrestling history. There's no doubt in my mind.
He had an unfortunate accident to basically end his career as a referee. It's pretty sad. We met Tommy Young. He's a really nice guy.
Yes, we did meet him here at the Fan Fest, and like you said, very nice guy. Very, very professional. He did all of the high-profile matches. I believe he did every single one. I can't say for sure. Don't fact check us on this, folks. He did probably 99% of all of Flair's title matches because they needed the senior referee in there for the title match for NWA. So, Flair, he's he's been taking a beating here in like the first 10 minutes, so he's feeling it here. But now he's pulling Steamboat out. Oh, threw Steamboat into the guardrail here. This ain't the first time Steamboat's met that guardrail.
No.
And you know, the first time he did it was a couple of years ago. Ironically enough, you mentioned the WrestleMania 3 match. That was against Macho Man, and that's the whole thing about his larynx. And Macho Man did a number on him before WrestleMania 3. So it all kind of ties in here.
I don't think we saw Steamboat enter the ring, did we?
No, I think we started it before.
Did they skip his ring entrance?
I think he had a ring entrance, but I kind of want to get to the match.
Or was it cut out for some reason?
I don't know. We'll have to go back and look at it after we make this video. We'll have to go back and look at it, and we'll put some comments in the put a thing in the comments about it.
Flair's he's gonna go for the patented knee. Looks like.
And ironically, we're filming this during Christmas time, and look at the colors they have. One has green, one has red. The traditional Christmas colors.
Yeah, I guess so.
Folks, we can't make this stuff up. And this match was, I believe, what, March or April?
This is February.
I'm sorry, February.
Yeah, 1989. But very interesting, as I said, like, you look back and, you know, all of a sudden you have, I mean, the UWF buyout had happened already, but I mean, some time ago before this, but you look, George Scott comes back in and all of a sudden you got guys like Steamboat, Gary Hart, Terry Funk's there, the Mad Dog's back, Iron Sheik. There's a bunch of the crew that, you know, that he'd used, like I said, like maybe 10 years before, you know.
Well, I guess he's familiar with them, and he knew that what they could do, and they could make, you know.
I guess the problem is, though, 10 years had passed, right?
Oh, there goes Flair doing one of his patented moves here.
Well, this hasn't really worked since 1983, and it's not going to work again.
1, 2, and no. Ric Flair almost lost the world championship here. Oh. Looks like Ricky Steamboat was going for the mounted 10 punches here, but Ric Flair countered it, and Ric Flair's putting him in his finishing move here, the figure 4. Steamboat's nowhere near the ropes here. He can't break right now.
Flair's gonna go for the rope. There he goes.
But not to break it. He's getting additional leverage here.
Yes, he is. Tom Young's not looking that way.
Well, the referee has to look at the opponent, make sure he's giving up or not. So he.
Flair got Steamboat here. Steamboat looks like in a good amount of pain.
Oh, we got some Four Horsemen fans in the crowd here, it looks like.
Somebody should let them know that there's only 2 of them left in the company.
Well, here's the thing. And I think that's why they brought in Hiro Matsuda to be the role that James J. Dillon had. But obviously, it's a different kind of vibe with the Four Horsemen here.
Right? They said some kind of corporation or something from Japan, and Matsuda couldn't really talk on the microphone and express what James J. Dillon could. Like you said, just a different dynamic here. I don't know.
And as far as the lineup too, like it really wasn't. It really wasn't good. To me, the original lineup was going to be the best.
If I'm not mistaken, they were talking about Kendall Windham being in there, and then also at some point I think they were talking about Ric Flair, Barry Windham, and the Midnight Express as the Four Horsemen.
Well, I mean, you could have Cornette be that role, like the talker guy. I mean, what he could talk him into the building, but I think. Oh, he went to the well once too.
Yeah.
He went to the well once too often, and Tommy Young just happened to turn around at that time, and he caught him. So That calls for a break of the hold here.
The old hand in the cookie jar there.
Well, you got to keep trying until you get caught. I mean,
Flair just steady trying to work on that leg now. Now he's had the figure of 4 on for
a good
protracted
couple
length
minutes
of time there.
I'd say a good 2-3 minutes there. Ricky Steamboat, he's showing some fire here.
He brought a different dynamic to this match because, you know, they're pretty evenly matched as far as like size wise and everything. So this is like a departure. Flair had been in feuds before this with basically like you're talking like Sting, Luger, you know, guys that were, you know, bigger than him and well greener than Steamboat's trunks too. But but yeah, bigger, stronger. You know, the big man match with Flair. So Flair, the match would be very different. This match is way more.
Flair's got to kind of bring a different.
Yeah, it's like
different
it's
style.
It's a back and forth. You know, more so. You know.
You see the belt on the table there, and you just get a glimpse right there of the world's most dangerous announcer, GMC Gary Michael Capetta there in the corner. Well, here's the thing: if Steamboat gets counted out, he can't win the belt from there. So.
That's right, and if Flair gets disqualified, same thing applies. So
why?
Tommy Young is kind of letting it go. I mean, he ran Steamboat into the post,
So
and Young didn't disqualify him. So
if you were Ric Flair here, why not right at the start go hit Steamboat with a chair or something, and you might lose the payday, but you're going to keep the world title.
Well, that's the thing with Flair, right? He would.
He kind of wanted to.
He would get disqualified a fair amount.
Or he had help from his 4 horsemen brethren there.
Right.
That would kind of help him secure the match. See Tommy Young.
They're not really there anymore, though.
See Tommy Young getting right close there. His feet are halfway. His legs are halfway out the ring. We mentioned this before, I believe, on other videos. Tommy Young, he would get in whatever position he could to count the pin. Whether he had to jump over guys, slide out of the ring, slide in the ring, didn't matter. 1, 2, no, he did not get him. Oh, Ric Flair is not happy. Oh, he just pushed Tommy Young, and Tommy Young pushed him back.
I think Flair's not gonna like that.
Tommy Young's pointed to his chest saying, "Hey, I'm the official here." Oh, Ric Flair's getting a little cocky here. He feels like he's in control here. Looks like he's going for a backbreaker here. Oh, nice one too.
Flair's going for his legs on a rope now.
And Tommy Young can't see this because he's got to look at Steamboat's shoulders. That he's doing what the referee has to do here. I think. Oh, Ric Flair, he's going for a little extra leverage there. Oh, Steamboat with a little schoolboy. 1, 2, no. Oh. Steamboat, he's still favoring that leg from being held in that figure 4 for quite a long time here.
But he hops up to that second rope. Oh, he goes for a flying body press, but no water in the pool there.
That's right. Pool was empty. Oh, Ric Flair, he's doing a little strutting here. He's getting a little cocky here. That may come back and bite him. We're not sure yet. Tommy Young's kind of did like this, kind of telling Ric Flair to get off the hair here. Oh, this is one of the patented spots here. Oh!
Steamboat goes for, and instead of going for a backslide, he inverts the arms and he goes for a butterfly.
I think Ric Flair's kind of too close to the ropes. Yeah. See, Rick Steamboat, he was spent. He didn't even think about hooking that far leg and get off the rope. But you know they've been going at it for a good 15-20 minutes here now.
Steamboat going for a backslide.
Now he's going for the backslide. It's a struggle here. Ric Flair. 1, 2, no, sir. And ironically enough, Ric Flair was beaten by a backslide to lose the NWA World Title against Kerry Von Erich, if I remember right. I believe he lost with a backslide.
I think you're correct. In Texas.
Yes, the David Von Erich Memorial 4th of July show.
Oh, Steamboat, huge clothesline coming off corner.
You can see both guys are spent here. I mean, both guys are in great shape, but I mean they haven't rested one bit. They've been going at it the whole time here. Steamboat again with the, I don't know what you call that, but it was effective.
It was a chop. Steamboat's gonna go to the top now.
And his patented move, the
flying body press.
Yes, sir. Looks like he's going for it.
Oh no, he went for a big chop. Nice.
See, he even surprised us. Well, he looks like he's going back up.
Yep, looks like he's gonna go one more time for that chop.
He said, one more time. Or is he going for the body press?
No, body press.
Oh,
Tommy
no.
Young.
Tommy Young just happened to be, look at, Steamboat is covering both guys here.
Yep, he's got Tommy Young pinned for a 3-2.
But unfortunately,
no one's there to count the pinfall.
Looks like Steamboat's trying to get Tommy Young up, shaking him. Oh, Ric Flair's got him pinned, but
with the tights, but Young's still not there to count.
Wait a minute.
Oh, wait a minute, we got another referee out here.
Oh, good Lord, you know who that is?
Yeah, Theodore L. Long.
Oh, Ric Flair would have been disqualified for doing that.
No, but see, no, he wouldn't because Steamboat's feet didn't touch the floor.
I said he would have.
He also would not be eliminated from the Royal Rumble.
He would have been if the referee saw that, if he would have hit the floor. Steamboat went for that crossbody again.
Oh, inside cradle. Teddy Long.
1, 2, 3.
And the kid with the bad permanent front row is going crazy.
Now, we've seen this before. I think we've documented this. We'll have to look. I think from Starrcade 84 with Dusty, it was the second referee.
Starrcade 85.
Sorry. With the second referee, is this one going to count now? Because Teddy Long is not the referee of record here.
But Tommy Young's raising his hand, so it doesn't really matter at this point, right? Because Tommy Young is saying it's okay. With Dusty, after the fact, Tommy Young had said no good.
Because he had been thrown out and he disqualified Ric Flair.
So this one's going to stand, folks.
But I want you to notice something, Mr. X. Watch the pin very closely. Did it look like Ric Flair's his right shoulder had come up during the count here? Watch that right shoulder. Looks like that right shoulder was a little off.
But again, the referee could not see that at that point.
Because he had to look at the other shoulder.
Yes. Oh, Rick Steamboat wins the NWA World Heavyweight Championship.
Oh my God! As Jim Ross and good old Magnum.
All right, well, I guess that's it. That's a pretty tremendous match there for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yes, sir. And this is just the start of the trilogy, and we'll cover them in a future time. We won't try to hammer you too closely here, but folks, if you live in the Northeast or anywhere where the storm's coming, I know you guys are going to get hammered. With the snow and the ice and everything else, stay safe. Oh, there's my man Bob Cottle and Ricky Steamboat. I don't think that was the NWA Championship, was it? Or was that the WCW Championship?
Oh, they were still calling it the NWA World Heavyweight Championship.
Okay, I apologize. Oh. He's getting celebration, and Bob Cottle's getting caught up in it. That's okay. They can dry clean the tux. Well, folks, speaking of taking a drink, may need one after this, but again, stay safe out there in the weather. You know what time it is? beer drinking time. My beer drinking hand. So from the SCF Studios, this is Jim and Mr. X signing off.